see it though.
Okay, welcome to the flip side, After Hours. My name's Chris. Some know me by 90 on tour. I get asked to come on to the show, and I rock up, and the only thing I've got is Leroy. And he's not talking to me, so we're just going to have a little bit of a chat between ourselves and see what happens. I'm hoping the other guys, they sent me the link. They said they were going to be here. I don't know what happened. Sean's not here. No one's here. David's not here. Chrissy's not here. Nicole's not here. So I'm not really sure what's going on. I'm in Newport on holidays from Australia. Madly into the Fenn chase for about the last 9 months. And like I said, I was hoping to chat to somebody tonight. But anyone got the time? What's happening here? Anyway, drinking Budweisers, doing a bit of after party. Oh, hang on. Hang on. There's someone around. And talk to the hand.
Everybody. Hello. Hello, everybody.
Hello, and welcome to
Hello.
the Buddies. Weird.
How are you, Yanks?
Y'all are
Doing?
freaking nuts.
What's going on?
Y'all
There's
are
Nicole's
nuts.
floating hat. Now look at this K-Pro. Oh, it's K-Pro.
Oh, goodness.
We're here. We did not leave poor 90 all by himself.
No.
He's a Thor. He's fine. He's a hardcore treasure hunter.
Yes, and he did very well. That's it, folks. You never know what's going to happen when you come on the after party. We could just completely leave you all by yourself. Hey,
That was
you're in the
awesome,
headline
Chris.
book.
Yeah, you did it, Chris.
Yeah, good
Really
job,
great.
Chris. You did great.
Thank you.
You got the important stuff. What are
This
we
place is
drinking?
completely out of control. You never know what's going to happen here on the after party, folks. So everybody, Sean Dotson here with the flip side, and this, of course, is your favorite non-PC beer drinking, thrill of the chase talking show. That's right, the flip side after hours party. We come on after Toby talks for 1,000 years. Anyway,
Oh, you
once
got him
again,
on that
I'm here
one.
at the Three Rivers Brew Distillery, and tonight I'm actually having a PBR. So cheers to everybody and the flip side tonight. So cheers to everybody.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, man.
So 90, you come all the way here to the United States from Australia, and what are you drinking tonight?
I'm on the Budweisers.
Right,
brew.
you got to come here and have some good Yank beer, right? So what
For
do you
sure.
what do you drink? I mean, we all think in Australia it's Foster's, right? I mean, what's the
Yeah.
beer in Australia?
That's a bit of a joke between Australians because nobody in Australia drinks Foster's. We just export it. Nobody in Australia drinks Foster's.
Nobody. Yeah.
I actually drink this at home. But yeah, we have some good local craft breweries and stuff. Heaps of different brews if you're into that. But I actually drink.
Well, hey, take a second and plug some of those guys, man. You got some Australia people here maybe watching, so plug some local breweries, man. Go for it.
Wow. You put me on the spot. I will get back to you because I will plug them later in the show for sure before we end.
Right on. That's okay. That's all fair. So yeah, so we want to get to know Chris. We had Chris on here earlier this week, and we got to know him a little bit. But we'd like to get to know Chris. And so, Chris, tell us how long you've been in the chase here, and obviously what forums are you on, and tell us a little bit about your chase experience and how you got into the chase.
So my girlfriend Julie and I have been planning this holiday, heads for about 4 or 5 years. And before we left, about a year before we left, really, I was doing some research on Yellowstone Park. And the start of this year, I came across some research on that sort of area. And I came across the poem with a map from Too Far to Walk, which at the time I thought was from The Thrill of the Chase. But all I had at that, I had the map, and I had the elevation clues, that type of thing. And so I'm a newbie. I've only been in for 9 months, but I pretty much dove headfirst in. And the 3 months, as I said to you guys the other night, I was doing about 10 hours a day. And sort of that's where I'm at. I'm sort of at saturation point at the moment. First Fenn tube where I came across was Jason. Jason Dent. And then I saw your show. I saw a lot of the marketing on the Fenn with AGK, and I sort of delayed getting into that. And I didn't get into the blogs until about 3-4 months ago. Went on Dale's site first and got shot down pretty hard. And my witty reply wasn't published. That's cool. So I moved along. I came along. I found Tor. Tor. I'm not sure how you.
That's okay. Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
And it's a place where you can sort of, even if you're a newbie, you could sort of get your point across and people weren't shutting you down. So I thought that was pretty cool. Nothing against Dale. When you guys had him on the show, I said, this guy's fantastic. And it was really good.
Yeah.
And, but
he is a cool dude. I don't even know, why do they care? Even when it got horrible on Chase Chat, we still could say pretty much whatever we wanted, you know? And that's the way I like it, you know. I don't.
That's the way it's got to be.
Hey, we say whatever we want here.
That's what I'm talking about, right?
Right.
You know, that reminds me. I haven't seen a good throwdown between Brother Thomas and 23 Monarca in a while. Those were great, man.
Well, you want to hear it? Davio 22, dude, your video, man, you're coming across as a nutcase, okay, dude? So try and tone it down. You're not the authority on any damn thing in this game, okay? Your solve is nutso, okay? Hello, Davio 22. I hate to regurgitate this issue, but you sound like a friggin' nutcase today, okay? So tone it down, okay? You're not the guy with the correct solve.
What did he say today? What did Davio say today? Davio is my brother from another mother in California.
That's it. Now, Davio, I can tell you're a cool dude. You are a cool dude. You live in a really cool place, California. Yeah. But stop speaking as if you have the correct solve. When you're talking to Toby on the 1-800, you're driving me nuts, dude. Okay? You don't have the correct solve, okay?
None of us do. We all are the same. It's great to hear. I only watch his.
Fine, we heard it, but you don't need to speak in.
Well, the person with the correct solve, please stand up.
I have.
We're all gonna stand up.
Salamander. I want to. Come on, Decal. We're all crazy. We're all
fine. I'm fine. Davio's terrific. Fine, he's a great guy. Okay, but you don't. I don't go around speaking as if I have the correct solve. I say I love my solve. I say I think it's terrific. And I'd like to have it proved wrong, but okay, dude, calm down.
No, Anybody see the lid to that can of worms I just opened? Like,
is that you? Because you're the one that brought up Davio.
Yeah, no, 23 Monarca. He used to like throw down bare knuckle 15 rounds. You know, all of a sudden he's like,
we need to have like 5 minutes of the DeCall dust off or something. Like DeCall just goes off on somebody like every 5 minutes every show. And that's fine, guys. I mean, we're all different personalities. We can all have fun. I'm gonna bring Davio 22 into the encore, and then you and Davio can have it out. Davio, send me your email again. I think I've got your email. But send me an email again, and I'm going to invite you into.
There's got to be at least
23 Monarchs in the room.
There's got to be some other delusionals we can add. Come on.
All right. 10 to 1.
We're all
Mr. Bryce could be one of them. Looky there, he's got the correct solve.
Segment to call roast, right? Exactly, Ben.
Well, here's what I said the other day. A guy like Chris comes from Australia. Boom, boom, boom. Been in it 9 months. You know, basically, like he said, he's just saturated with this thing. Walks out, someone goes, "Well, I'll be damned. There's the chest."
Yeah, I mean, he could absolutely. He could walk right up to that thing. Yeah.
Oh, I'd be.
And we would all be excited for you, Chris. We would be
anyone in this room. Yeah, I would be jumping for joy. Yep. I'd be jumping for joy.
Especially
anybody,
because you're on the Thor forum.
Yeah.
As we all know,
did somebody
the
say
reality
Thor?
Is something completely different, you know.
Somebody said Thor.
They did.
Hey, Chris, where's Jules? Where's Jules? We want to know where Jules is.
She's fixing it in the kitchen, but I'll get her out.
Hey, get her out here. You go cook.
Don't let him leave.
We want to talk to Jules. We want to get the real story from Jules. Jules, where are you?
You want me to get her?
Go get her. Tell her to come out and say hi. All right, let's talk shit about Chris right now.
That's right.
That's right. Really?
Love the accent. He's going to find the chest. We're in trouble. And he's drinking
Oh,
Budweiser.
it's great. No, great. He's got a motor home. He's out there. He's doing it. He's living his thrill of the chase. It's
Living
amazing.
at large, man.
There she comes. Here comes Jules. Where's Jules? Where's Jules? Jules!
Hey.
Jules!
Wow.
Hey!
Jules! Hi. Hi, Jules. Look at her. He's like, here's your crazy friends. This is your crazy, weird friends. Hi, Jules. Say hi.
Welcome to America.
Oh, it's wonderful.
Oh, no. And they froze up. No.
But I can hear
Now,
them.
I have to say about 4 months ago, maybe 3-4 months ago, 90 Chris emailed or messaged me or put something up on Thor and said, I need help. How do you maneuver around for several months, and where do you see and where do you don't? And so he did a lot of planning. They did a lot of planning. And so I'm excited that when you said, I knew you as Chris, but when you were like, oh, I'm 90, I'm like, oh, I've talked to you a bunch of times. You're here. I'm so excited. So it's nice to finally meet you guys. So.
Thanks.
So
That's
where to
very
after
nice.
Oregon, though? There's the question.
Well, you're still in the Redwoods, right? I mean, are you still in the Redwoods, or did you make it up to Portland?
No, we've done the Redwoods. Now we're in Douglas Fir country.
Newport, Oregon.
And beautiful as well.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
It's just
Very nice.
lovely. We have whales, a pod of whales just off the coast here. And they're
Yeah,
not even migration back.
Before Fukushima in
Whales.
Japan, those were actually little goldfish. I don't know.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, it was
I unmuted
somebody
because
like muted there for a sec.
yeah, it was me because my kids were making noise, so I muted.
Jules, it's amazing to
You
meet
muted
you. We've
Sean
heard
because your
wonderful
kids were
things about you.
No, I muted me. Come on.
So, Jules, what do you think of this whole treasure hunt?
You can be
Well,
honest.
It's exciting. It's interesting. It's fascinating. I think it's everybody's dream to find treasure, so I can absolutely see the attraction. For me, it's about the likelihood of finding it. So I haven't invested like any time at all. Chris talks to me a lot about the clues that he has, and he's always talking about it. We both have obsessive personalities, so I find it absolutely fascinating that he's involved with it. But I'm very busy, so I haven't been putting in the time myself.
But I think your
Right now.
guys' vacation is not all about just the treasure hunting, and that's perfect. It's like it's not just about the one day or 2
Very
days or
good.
whatever. It's like there's a
Very
whole. I think we talked. You guys were heading California, Oregon, California, maybe even heading to Vegas. I don't know.
Yes. Now we're talking. Come to Vegas.
New Mexico. I am in New Mexico, so please, we'd love to meet you. Uh-oh. Did we lose them?
Nah, they're here and there.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's the
So
whales.
now, Chris told us you're a psychologist. Is that correct? Uh-oh.
They're trying.
They're trying. It's okay.
Yeah.
Tell your neighbors to turn off Netflix. Uh-oh. Well, we'll keep rolling with the great thing, and I think K-Pro was alluding to this, and DeCall was as well, is that, both Chris and Jules are on a 11-week vacation throughout the United States.
Yeah,
And they
that
started in
sounds
San
really
Francisco,
awesome.
and they
Yeah.
went up along the whole coast, the western coast of the United States on Highway 1, and some beautiful, amazing country up there. They were in Fort Bragg the other night when we talked to them. They were going up into Portland, and I think that they're in Portland now. They went up into the Redwoods, Forrest, and spent a couple days up there hiking and stuff, and I think that's amazing. And now I think they're heading up towards Seattle, and then from there they're going to head east and then head towards Yellowstone, where Chris will get a chance to search his location. So that's pretty exciting, and we're going to keep getting some updates, obviously, on Thor and some emails that Chris has been sending me, and hopefully some pictures as well. So we're super excited about that, to get more from Chris and Jules on their vacation. And David Kramer is obviously salivating over their motorhome that they're driving around in, right, David?
Yeah, it looks really
It may
cool.
not be a DX3.
Man, that's the life right there. Travel free.
Right. Well, listen, I've been kind of ignoring the chat room here, and I just want to go back to the chat room. I did not
They're
see
on fire right now, Sean.
Yeah, they're complaining about my attitude mostly.
They are on fire.
Oh, yeah. That's okay, DeCall. We love DeCall, guys. And DeCall, all four of us have different personalities, and that's what makes this show fun, makes it show great. We just have a lot of fun, guys. It just, who cares? You know, again, we're the non-PC beer drinking drill and change talking show. We're not going to please everybody. That's why if you don't like it, give it a thumbs down. That's we lost Chris.
It's not
Sean. Get back in, Chris, if you can watch the show.
Yeah,
look at that, folks. I'm not the one that lost. So I want to say hi to some people in the chat room. Eric Smith, how are you? ES, Dale Richards, Sean Martinez. Finding the Chest. Hey, that's a new name I haven't seen. Hey, there's 23 Monarchas in here to call.
Yeah, I like him.
Dale Richards. Jimmy, we need to get you on the show. Jimmy, I know you put out a couple videos. You need to reach out to me. We need to get you in the show here. So, Jimmy, shoot me an email. Maybe we'll get you in the encore if you're up for it. Gary Sandberg, 23 Skiddo, Dilly. Yes, sir. Journeyman, how are you, Journeyman? Buddy Allen, hey, buddy, my deer in the headlights brother. Yes, Davio 22, my brother from another mother, DeCall's new best friend.
Oh, we're still friends.
David Dow,
Okay,
Steve Rimple. Hey, Steve.
Sean, can I interrupt for a second? The room has asked for every time that
No.
Okay.
Did we drink? Oh, no. Yeah. We will never make it through the show.
It, but nobody else has.
Hey, Bill Gorman's in there. Hey, Bill, how are you, brother? Bill, and we're gonna send you an invite to the after party, or the encore. So keep an eye out for that. Alan K. Hey, Alan K. I'll shoot you an email too. Maybe you'll jump in here. Copper Dan. Virgil Kane is my name. Redneck Express. Hey, Redneck, how are you? Craig Carter, Ben Downing, Paul Wood. That's a new name. Hey, Paul Wood, how are you? Sean and panel, what do you think about black cotton soil for Waters, Halt, and India? We'll get to that. Zozo Rocks, how are you? William Ortiz, totally not Mitzi. Mitzi, you need to send me your phone number again. I can explain that to you later, but you got to email me if you can. Sasha, hey, Sasha, how are you? Minotaur Marino, out of the labyrinth and into the chat room. The Minotaur is here, folks.
Boom, boom, boom.
Let's see who else we got in here. Jonesy, hey Jonesy, I'm gonna send you an email, and we're gonna try and get you in here to the encore too. We're gonna have all kinds of fun tonight. Let's see who else we have. H Purd, how are you, H Purd? Mr. Bryce, hey Mr. Bryce, how are you? Steve Silver or Smither, man, I get that wrong every time I try and say that. Yes, folks, I've only had one beer.
And it was a PBR.
Xarbin. Hey, Xarbin, where have you been? We haven't seen you in forever.
What the hell? Yeah.
Good to see you in the chat room. Awesome. We need to see a video from you. Come on, brother. Good to see you in there. Follow me down. How are you? Anon. I think I've caught up with everybody in here. Lori James. Lori, how are you? Our sister from another mister is in here. Steve, just Steve, apparently. Hi, Steve. How are you? Catching everybody. 23 Skidito. Did I mention that one? That's a new one.
Jimmy Fass is suggesting that Mitzi post her number in chat. Go for it, Mitzi.
What the hell number did
go ahead.
I think so.
You never know what kind of pictures you're going to get, Mitzi.
Sasha, what's that number? Gee.
8765309.
Oh, duh.
Gay Delkin. Hey, Eugene. How are you doing? Good to see you in there. I'm catching everybody. You guys see anybody I'm missing?
Yeah, usually. But they may not really be here anyway.
Chris, if you're watching this on the replay, all you have to do is go back into your email and click on that.
I got
Unless
5.
Joel said, we're out of here. Your friends are crazy.
Hey,
I'm cutting the finger.
I got 5 participants. I don't know if...
Oh, so he's back in. Hold on, guys. Sorry, Chris. Give me one chance. I'll get him in here. No, it's not pulling up for me. The attendee.
Never had a lesson.
It's not pulling up. And I think I got everybody. Finding the chest. Did I say that was a new person? What's all with the numbers? 1, 1, 1. What is all that? Anybody know
Go
what
back
that's about?
and read it, man.
Get like Morse code in here.
Binary? Yeah, what's binary?
No, it was supposed to be if someone
I don't read that shit.
that a
Can't even
salamander
figure.
was in there, you're supposed to put a 1. So people responded.
There is a shitload of ones in there. Jason Eunice. Hey, Jason, how are you? Good to see you in here, brother. Jason, I'm going to send you an email. We're going to try and bring you into the Encore, too.
What Encore?
I don't know what they're talking about. I don't know what. Anyway, guys, so what was this whole 1,000-year thing that Toby was talking about tonight? What was that all about? If in 1,000 years we're going to be able to, none of us are going to be here in 1,000 years.
And that's why it doesn't matter.
No, I mean, it's fun to talk about, I'm sure, but what was the whole point of that? What do we get out of that?
Well, there was a show yesterday and a show today just about how much any particular clue could change. Is it going to be physical or metaphysical? And then it got a little more philosophical than I think they wanted. But it was about is a clue about something physical, or is it about a state line or a home of trout rather than, home of brown? That's very different than a physical location. And then physical locations that actually can change over time due to major issues that happen with earthquakes and landslides and all that. So it's interesting because if you think about it, 1,000 years from now, there's a huge delta, but even 8 years from now, and I think there's a discussion to be had of, especially where that final chest is, I think it looks very different right now than it did 8 years ago when it was first put in its spot.
Yeah,
so
I
don't think they focused on that as much as the different clues along the way. I think it was
I mean, like Forrest has recently said why he doesn't want to respond to IG and Mai's question about, if someone's 12 feet away from that thing, can they still find it? And he doesn't want to answer that. He's saying better not answer that, or I don't know, Rick, or whatever, because that spot, even in 8 years, could have changed. Has some weeds blew in there, covered it up, has water affected it, or whatever else. And in 1,000 years, how much drastically could it affect that? Now he said, he tried thinking 1,000 years in the future, and I think that's the big part of where he placed the chest. It had to potentially have the ability to last 100 years, 1,000 years, 10 years, or whatever. But if he hasn't been back, like he has said, he just doesn't know for sure. He's not 100% certain.
90's here. 90's here.
90? Is he back?
Get him in.
All right. Let me get him in here, guys. Hold on.
I just spent the last few minutes trying to see if I could find Mitzi's phone number so I could throw it in the chat room, but I couldn't find it.
Well, don't throw it in the chat room, right?
I was going to put it in the chat room.
Oh, he's muted.
I know. I'm getting him. Hold on. There he is. Hey, what's up, Chris? You're back. How are you, brother?
Sorry about the Wi-Fi, huh?
Yeah, don't worry.
Hey, no, you're fine. Trust me. It's better that you disappear than me disappear, because that's a whole new issue. That's a whole lot more fun.
That's kind of fun when Sean disappears. I'm sure you've seen those shows. He was a regular here for a while. The disappearing Sean.
Yeah, no, Jason, I get what you're saying. You said, I think Toby has taken a lot of flack about the fishing regs, and he wanted to make the point that you can go back and research like you were there in time. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, Jason. It's like the good map. If somebody in 1,000 years from now wants to look at this whole poem and try and figure out where it is, they're not going to look at maps that are dated 3009. They're looking at maps that are dated 2009 or 2010 to try and figure out the spot. And those maps, I would assume, would be available, whether online or whatever we have in 1,000 years from now, or physical maps that are 1,000 years old, and be able to look at those maps. So I get what you're saying. In 1,000 years, how are they going to look back at that? So I think that's what the point you're trying to make. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what you're trying to make.
I don't find much value in any part of the 1,000-year comments, ideas. I think it's silly, really. I've heard other people argue the point. I just don't see any reason to be in this game. If you honestly think 1,000 years has something to do with it, you shouldn't be playing this game, really.
You have some opinions tonight, D-Call. I have never seen you like
I know. Isn't this crazy?
Woo. Okay. Well then.
Who's listening? Somebody's got an echo like they're listening to our channel while we're live.
Yeah. I think Chris is saying he's having some audio issues and stuff.
Yeah, whoever's listening to our channel out of us 5.
Not me. I don't listen to our channel.
I know it's silly.
It's better now.
Well, and
I've got everything on mute.
Sean actually has brought up in the chat room a couple times, and I do want to mention it, that Toby's done a lot of the little girl from India to see what she could come up with and the fishing regulations. I think it's interesting to watch the thought process. I will say I don't agree. The fishing regulations, it's completely different than my WWWH, but it is interesting to watch thought processes and logic and the way that he goes, and like even his roundtable today or yesterday or whenever it was, it's really interesting to watch people. Davio today put one out. I've been watching each one. Susie, I can't name them all because there's so many. Sean, props to you for this new idea, but it's so interesting to hear, this is how I think, and some are very linear and some are very imaginative and some are very research based. And so I mean, I really like and so that's where I appreciate AG. They've done the time. Talk about the time putting in on the research.
Yeah, man. Serious.
Yep. Hey, Chris, I want to know where your first stop, where you're actually going to do some boots on the ground searching is.
I have a specific spot to go to in Montana.
In Montana? So how far along from here is your arrival in Montana?
Look, I'm looking maybe. I'll probably be there in about a week.
Okay. I was really worried about the weather, brother, because when you got snow as high as a giraffe's ass, you ain't looking for nothing.
And exactly. And if there's snow there and it's covered, well, you know.
Yeah, it shouldn't be in a week. You should be absolutely great in a week. I mean, I'm sure it'll be some chilly nights. You all got clothes for that, right?
I think so. I'm about to go and put some more on, I think.
Is it cold there?
Yeah, in Oregon, yeah.
Getting outside, it's a little chilly.
What do you have, like?
So have you gone out and so tell us a little about where you're at in Oregon, and are you and Jules going out to get some good food? Are you guys going out to some good coffee shops, breweries, anything out there? I mean, tell us a little bit about where you're at now. We'd love to get an update from you as you travel. You know, create a thread over on Thor and send us some pictures and keep things going. I think that would be amazing.
Yeah, I will do that. Look, we've had a great time coming from San Fran, and there's lots of places to eat and drink in San Fran, and we like to eat and drink. And there's a beautiful brewery just down the road here where we had a nice lunch, and we had some nice craft beers. And again, the name is gone straight in one ear out the other one. Otherwise, I'd give them a plug.
There it went out the other.
He got a raccoon in his pants, folks. Look out.
I will give a plug to we're staying at Pacific Shore RV Camp tonight. Beautiful, absolutely the most beautiful place we've ever been RV, and there's some serious dollars in this RV camp, as you can see. One of them is straight behind me here, not mine. But we've been eating and plan to eat and drink our way around the country. So we were doing some blogs and probably put them on Facebook or might put them on Thor. Yeah, if anyone's interested. So.
Put them on Thor, yeah. Put them over there. We want to.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, man, people get paid to do those travel blogs. You know, travel
good money
put
too.
it out there, and there's good money in that. I mean, what the hell?
I think I need Fenn's penmanship though to do it, but Julie's pretty good.
Yeah. Hey, just put punctuation wherever you want. Put a comma here. Put a semicolon. Put a colon there. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Period.
Put a period after every word. Nobody. Punctuation doesn't fucking matter. Who gives a shit?
What is there something in the water?
It's not a full moon or anything. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
It's like a contagion. Oh my goodness! I'll tell you what. Oh my goodness! I just can't wait. I can't wait till he gets some boots on the ground time, and then maybe we can hear a little bit about that when he gets done with that, because obviously it's going to be his first boots on the ground. And you want to talk about coming from a long way,
Chris? You haven't had any boots on the ground yet?
Only when I stepped off the plane onto the United States of America.
Wow!
So awesome. You got to take video. I mean, awesome.
I'm going to video the whole thing, and if like 99.9% chance that it's not there, I'm going to put my solve on and what I think it is, what I think the key word is. So,
oh, is that a secret right now? The key word?
I'm sorry.
What's the key word? Are you willing to say?
Yeah, the key word is it.
Wow. Take it in the canyon down. Begin it.
I heard an S. I heard an S.
He didn't say Thor.
I'll tell you in a week.
Okay.
Yeah. I think you'll like it, Nicole.
Yeah.
I think you'll like it.
Oh,
yeah.
No.
Yeah, I'm all for it.
The word salamander.
Come on now. My word that is key is the first word of the poem, as simple as pie. First word opens the lock, okay? First word is the key. Why not? And the first word floats, okay? It floats like a hat. Just kidding.
But why halt? Why the word halt?
Hey, I love that one. I've talked about halt a lot. What do you think about teachers with ropes? Do you think that what the hell? Do you think that teacher with her arm up? She's got her arm up, okay, and then she's like halt, and then the rope takes off after that. Does that match the halt in the poem, or what do you think about that?
Personally, I don't think any of the pictures have anything to do with the chase.
Wow.
For me, it's about the poem, and everyone thinks they have their own thing, but I think with my solve, when you find the key that I've found, even the home of Brown doesn't even mean anything.
Yeah. Wow.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's kind of a bold approach. The pictures in the book don't mean much. Okay.
No, well, what reference do you have? The only reference you have is where warm waters hold. That's the only thing the book can help you with because you don't know what the other clues are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm simply making the analogy that it looks like the teacher is holding up her hand like halt, and I'm wondering if other people see that. But I do love the word halt. I think halt could be the first omega. It says begin it where warm waters halt. I think halt is a very strange word to be used in the poem, and it's probably got a very specific purpose. Of course, different people have different ideas of what it means, But, I love the word halt.
There's a reason why it was halt and not halts, in my opinion.
Yeah? Well, yeah. Get them, Sean. Get them, Sean. Talk about the grammar now. Come on.
Punctuation, not grammar.
Punctuation.
Nothing. Halts would be grammar.
Halts would be grammar. Thank you. Now we're talking.
No, but I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about punctuation. So
I want to talk about Thor. I don't want to talk about grammar. I want to talk about Thor. Thor. Did anybody mention Thor tonight? Because oh my gosh, Thor is the most fantastic site. Forum.
Okay, so D-Call, you've been ignoring the chat room. Every time someone says Thor in the chat room, I take a drink, and I'm slowing down with water right now because they're so excited about it. I listen to the chat room.
TVR is going down way too good.
You are taking
THOR.
You are taking the chat room on. I've embraced the people.
Guys, every time you say Thor in the chat room, you're supposed to put $1 into our super chat and into our thing. And pay for
our super chat.
I can afford. Put $1 in the hat.
Bring it.
What do you have there, David?
What the hell are you talking about?
Where did Chris go?
Teaser.
Well, I was waiting to see a black bear go running past the screen after it. To be like, look like one of them Amish people or something over here. Oh, he went and got some more. Dude, Chris, it's freaking like 90 degrees here, okay? Like 90 degrees, 68% humidity. I saw him.
And it's almost 11 o'clock. And it's like 11 o'clock in Florida.
Darn near, close enough.
Yeah. Don't let him judge you, Chris. You stand strong. I'm on your side. Let's get David back.
So, Chris, I would really love to see you and Jules, put some pictures, put some short videos. They don't have to be Thrill of the Chase related. Rambling Pam does a great job if you watch any of her videos of just doing some short videos about where she's at, her and her husband are at, and some history of the areas. We'd love to get your interpretation of your trip in America, and put some YouTube videos out, put them over on Thor, put some pictures up. We'd love to see your travels. I think that would be amazing. What is wrong with you, Christy? Christy, what is in that dilly of yours?
No, the chat room. I'm just listening to the people. I'm here for the people.
Oh, the heart of the people. Oh my God. Yeah. The first damn
We're not
time
supposed to listen to them. We're supposed to ignore them because they completely ignore us and just they're more drunk than we are. They're drinking more than we are over there. Totally not Mitzi's got them all doing shots.
Diet Coke exclusive. I'm gonna go get a refill on my Diet Coke.
I'm trying to ignore that. I tried once. I said I'm leaving, and they revolted. They all left. So I'm gonna try to.
They're just having a blast without us. They're having so much fun without us. And like DeCall goes out the other door. He's gonna come out the closet. We don't even know where DeCall's
coming out of the closet. Is that what?
Well, and that's it.
Folks,
his wife doesn't know.
Completely out of control. This place is completely out of control. We don't even know. So somebody asked me in the chat earlier, do I have a new topic yet for the roundtable number 2? No, and that's why we were hoping to put we were putting all the pressure on K-Pro to start a thread over there to help us get that going.
I thought you were going to say Forrest.
Since while we're talking about it, and we have Chris Bettles actually in the after party tonight. Chris was actually the first one to put out a video as far as the roundtable goes. So henceforth and forevermore, Chris Bettles will be known as the initiator of the roundtable discussion. So
I thought he was going to be like the initiator bastard.
You are the man.
The number one bastard.
Yeah, bastard. Yeah, you're the front running bastard in the whole shindig, buddy. So you did a great job.
I will put number 2, the request for number 2, and then everybody can see. And I apologize. I did not know I had a honeydew, so I'm on it.
Just put it out, and then during the weekend update or shortly after the weekend update, I'll put out the roundtable number 2 video, and put out the topic. But K-Pro, if you can start a thread that says, the roundtable number 2 discussion topics, and then narrow it down. If we can try and narrow it down. We may only have 5 topics. We need to look back at the chat room, what they were talking about in the other thread, because there was a couple of good ones that came in there, and try and incorporate those in there and not forget about them. But there's some good stuff in that. But I want to give some shout outs to some people that put out the videos. And I think we had like 16 or 17 videos that came out just prior to, tonight's show. But what really shocked me is out of those 17 videos, we had like 5 or 6 people that had never, ever posted a video before actually put a video out. And I thought that was awesome. So I really want to just give some props to those people first. And like I said earlier, Chris Bettles, who we have in here tonight, 90, put out the very first video out. And then we had Rob Johnson, put out a video, and you can look in the description in the description of the video below. I put link to what my playlist that I put out for all the videos. So you can go and watch them all. They're all in there on our channel. And when you go and watch those videos, it will actually take you to their channel. So you're actually giving them a view. And if you want to give them a thumbs up and subscribe to their channel, make sure you do that, guys. I'm not saying that those guys or those people will put out more videos, but if they do, at least you'll get notifications and stuff if they do. But Chris Bettles, obviously, he put out the first video, and thank you, Chris, for being the one to go out there and start this whole thing up. So that was awesome. I appreciate that, and you putting it out there. Rob Johnson put a video out, like I said. Sir Crow actually put a video out. Redneck Express, who we see in the chat room, is actually in here tonight. He put out a video. Alan Kelly, who we see in the chat room all the time, put out a video. And these are people that have never, put out a video before. So I thought that was awesome to see some of these guys that had never done it put out a video. And then AGK obviously put one out. DeCall Thomas, my partner here. Joe Fox from Fox Gaming put out his video. Sean Martinez from Figuring Out Forrest put out a video. And actually, he actually put out a part 2 of his videos because he sent Forrest Fenn an email asking him a question. Then he put out a part 2 where Forrest Fenn actually responded to him. And I don't want to take anything away from Sean Martinez's video, but if you go to the playlist, his actually part 2 is in there too. And he says what Forrest Fenn responded. And then he talks about that. So great job, Sean Martinez, for doing that. And I know he's in the chat room tonight. Jason Dent put out a video, and I thought it was kind of funny because Jason Dent, in his video, he put out 2 colored waters, and I thought, oh my God, he's going to do a Morpheus, Matrix moment. Which water do you drink, But good job, Jason Dent. He put out his video. Bill Gorman, our wild Bill Gorman, our friend, he put out a video as well.
That was cool.
IG, Illinois Ghost. What? Oh, yeah, and Bill Gorman's was great. Yeah, go ahead, David.
No,
what do you want to say about
that? Did the Night of the King with the moving mouth? I was like, there you go.
Hilarious. That was hilarious. Yeah.
Yep.
That was
good job, Bill.
Funny,
we loved
funny
it.
As hell,
Cheers, Bill.
Yeah, and he talked about his ancestors, that he has ancestors that are associated with that. I think somebody by the name of K-Pro did a video with Calazars, a collaboration.
That was really good.
You guys did a great job.
Isn't she the girl on Thor?
Thor. Oh, God, we got to drink again.
Somebody there said Thur. I'm like, that don't count.
Yeah, I said misspelling.
That doesn't count.
No, they said Thur. Now they're saying thirsty. Thirsty.
Oh,
thirsty. Thorsty. We're gonna have a show come out called Thorsty Thursdays, right? That's what you need to do, K-Pro. You need a Thorsty Thursdays.
You know what? Mike Callings has just gotten in the room. I only take credit for half of the round table because Mike put in his great insight. So I have half of.
No, I'll have another one.
So, and hi, Mike.
Hey, Sean, I don't think we've ever had a guest change locations as many times.
Yeah.
90 gets the trophy for location change. That's awesome, man. I think we've been through 4 changes. Maybe 3.
Well, if he goes into the bathroom, that'll be a whole completely new change, right? But RF Hecky put out a video. Our good Auntie Susie, she put out a video, and it was awesome. Great job, Susie. And Shannon Oots, our good friend Shannon of the Odious Soul, put out a video as well. So it was great. I mean, we had I would have been ecstatic if we had 5 or 10 videos put out there, but I thought it was awesome. It's some good response to it, and it's been fun, and we've had a lot of positive response to it. Again, guys, I'm tasking K-Pro to put a thread over there on the Hint of Riches, about the number 2 roundtable discussion. And again, guys, I want to make the whole roundtable a community driven effort where you guys come up with the question. It's not going to be from me. It's not from Forrest. It's not from anybody else. It's from you. You guys pick the topic, and we will talk about it. So that's what's fun. We're going to have fun with it. So the new topic, don't know yet. We'll come up with another one. But, guys, I have a Facebook group called The Flip Side of Forrest Fenn's Treasure Hunt. It is a closed group now. If you're wanting to come into that, you can find us on Facebook. Request to become part of that group. I do post those videos right away on there. You can find them on the Facebook group, but you can also find them on the Flip Side of Forrest Fenn's Treasure Hunt YouTube channel here, where I put a playlist with everybody's video in there. And as I see them, then I put them in there. But Facebook does this weird thing where I only see the top 10, and it's hard to kind of find them all. So again, I try and put that playlist together so you can go on the channel and find them. But again, it directs you back to that person's individual YouTube channel. So you are getting a view over there and you're liking it on theirs. It's not associated with mine, but it does show you on there where you can find them. So, but I think it's been a lot of fun. We've had some fun with it. You guys got any? Did you guys watch any of the videos? Do you guys have any comments on them?
I would say I would put Jason's as the most imaginative with the water and the visuals. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I just adore listening to Susie. Her voice is she's so fun, and it makes me smile, and she doesn't even show herself, and she just makes me smile. But there were so many that were good. Davio's today was so great, and he had the
haven't seen Davio's yet.
Yeah, and he had the ocean out there, and he gave his kind of thoughts. It was great. I mean, there's so many to name, but those were the ones that kind of hit again, when you talk, Sean, there wasn't 1 or 2. When you have 15, 17. But I do have to say, I would really love to hear, even though Jason did his, Sasha has a different mindset and a different way of thinking. I would love to hear from Sasha on future ones, even if Jason does one, because God, she thinks so differently and I love it. So just wanted to do a shout out to Sasha. Even if Jason does one, do like split the time. Mike and I split time and said 2.5 minutes, and we were 4 minutes and 59 seconds to make sure we were not over. So I mean, that's just something to think about, and just love you.
And Journeyman, I'm seeing your post, and there is a deadline. We try and set the deadline for tonight just so we could talk about it, but there's no deadline. If you still want to put out your own video, put it out any time you want to do it. I'm not saying there's a deadline. Just keep going. Then we'll do number 2. I don't know when we're going to do it, guys. We're just trying to test this out, see how it goes, and we're going to, fine tune it as we go. If we get a lot of responses over on Thor, then we'll put out number 2 this weekend. Either I'll put it out on the weekend update, as encore or whatever you want to say at the end of the weekend update, or I'll put something out Sunday. But there will be a number 2. But again, I want to see the responses over on Thor, and we'll let Christy kind of drive that and see how it comes out from there. But
you got to admit that was a cool water example. Scientific hot water doesn't mix with cold, but cold mixes with hot. That was kind of cool. Job. That was cool, Jason. Good idea. I don't know if it fits the poem, but hey, whatever.
And like I said, I'm more in line with Shannon's Odious Soul. Like I said, I made a video today and I deleted it because it was like, I'm which came first, the chicken or the egg? I'm with Shannon, and I'm like, well, this seems kind of wishy-washy because I'm on neither side. Because for me, the where warm waters halts matters more as you get further into the poem, and so to just isolate that, you're sort of you're cutting it and taking it out of context, because the context of begin at where warm waters halt, it just doesn't end there, and to take it as that was really unfair for me. And like I said, I only had like 2 minutes and 29 seconds, and I said delete because I just felt so wishy-washy. I watched Shannon's right before we came in tonight, and I'm like,
I want to see that one. It just came out. I didn't get a chance to see it or anything, but
fantastic. Because she gets it. She understands. She knows that really when you take it out of context.
She has great content. Oh my gosh, Shannon, you got awesome content. Keep it up. I like the fact I've said this compliment before. I like the way you think it out, think it through, and analyze it. And even no matter what people think, it's well thought out. And I even like whatever green screen or whatever you're using. It looks really professional. Your video, it's awesome.
I was going to say Chris, today it was in your car.
Well, Chris, I wanted to break in. Now, your boots on the ground right now. Does your solve change at all when you hear 15, 20 searchers talk about WWWH? I mean, are you locked in, or are you kind of still up for listening and thinking about things, or where are you at? Oh, he's on mute.
Who muted him?
Oh, he's not. I did not mute him.
John?
He's not muted. I did not mute him. What? Well, how did he get muted?
He says he's
there. You
muted.
go.
Are you there now?
No, he should be unmuted now.
Try it again. Try it again, Chris. Louder.
Okay. Is anybody good at sign language and lip reading? Tell me now in the chat room, and we'll bring you in. He can hear us, obviously.
He's saying
that's perfect. I completely understood that. He said, "You guys are all." You Americans are all stupid. I know where this is.
We can't read sign language.
Come on, man. Come on. He can't be muted. I was going to talk about his beard. I was looking at his beard earlier. A couple more years.
Alan says he can't read Australian.
Can't read Australian. He is not muted, folks.
Oh, he has to be muted. Like, bounce him out, put him back in. That deuce. I don't know.
Now can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Obviously.
Laughing, Thor.
I had to do the translation Australian to English translation app apparently on here, and now we got it. Go ahead, Chris.
G'day, mate. How are you? Sitting out the back, get a couple of shrimps on the barbie, and we'll be right, mate. Won't we? Huh?
Good day, eh?
Chris, here to answer your question. Montana. I have a spot. I'm not going anywhere.
Now we're talking.
I'm not going anywhere. one spot, if that's not it, that's pretty much me done. I have one in Colorado and I have one in New Mexico, but I can't find a blaze. I've got the blaze, which is the same as my key.
Wow.
Coincidence.
Wow.
It's the same as my key.
Wow, that's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Sitting there on the side of a hill. Look quickly down.
Yeah. Wow.
Well, if you don't get out to New Mexico, I'm there in 4, 5, 6 weeks. I'll help you out. I mean, I'm there. I want to get boots on the ground this time. I'm going out there for putting an extra weekend on it.
I'd love to just go boots on the ground with someone else's solve, just to go for the walk.
I've done that.
Oh, yeah.
I've done. You know what? There's pluses and minuses to it because you take it from you take it from the mind rather than the heart, and then there's that wait, you just were 2 feet from it, or 2 more feet, or did you see that rock, or did you? And I'm glad I've done that experience because there were so many unintended consequences that I never thought I would be put in. But when you pick up somebody else's solve that's on number 8 or 9, that's been out there many times, that's a poem purist that thinks totally differently, it changes everything. I mean, it's a whole different experience than what I call my love solve. My love solve, I didn't want to leave ever. So it's so hard. I know.
Yeah, it's hard. But Forrest, he's such a clever guy because everything about the chase is so ambiguous that it's crazy.
Are we hacked? What the hell?
Sean is out of control.
Come on,
somebody
Chris.
Please put me in the chat room.
Come on. And come back.
I'm like, we can't even hear Chris, and we're
we were just getting the good stuff, man. Man, we're learning about his sock size.
10.5.
Wow.
You know, man, with big socks.
Willie bathing and sock size.
Yeah, I heard Willie got a bath apparently.
This shit's only for the after party, huh?
The after.
Okay, so wait a minute. Sean, before you so rudely return from the urinal, I'm assuming, and sniffing cakes, I don't know. They were talking about like walking somebody else's solve and what kind of a bonus that is. And Chris was saying how much he would really enjoy like walking somebody else's solve while he was here, if nothing more than to take the walk. I'm like, yeah, well, you know.
Every time somebody brings up their solve, it's like, I'm just not excited about it. I don't want to go there. I don't want to. I mean,
has there been any other with the 800-foot salamander?
No, of course not. Come on now. This is the creme de la creme right here.
But do you understand?
Jonathan, this one's for you, Jonathan. I'm doing just fine, brother. PBR is no problem for me.
Then start taking a Thor shot then.
Do you understand? Yeah,
okay,
get you some shot.
Back to David.
Do you understand why when you look at other people's solves, you have no appreciation for it? It was like when you were young, or like people that have a lot of money who give their kids things. They give them to them and they don't appreciate it because they didn't work for it. And that's exactly what the hell you have when somebody hands you a solve. You didn't work for it, so you don't appreciate it. And that transfers to us as adults through these solves. It transfers to a kid through a free car, free bicycle, whatever the case may be.
No, I totally 100% disagree. And here's my point.
Figures the woman would disagree.
Exactly, David. I'll put you in your spot. I ain't afraid of you. So when July comes up, you just stay me for a second. When July comes up, you don't
hear that on Toby. Wait a minute. I can't.
Hold on, peeps.
Hold on, you're going down, fool.
When July comes up and you don't want to just stick to your solve that you've had 200 times, you know that you need to just table it. And you decide to say to the community, which you love, hey, give me some solves. And if it's one that I'm inspired by, I'm going boots on the ground. I'm not like cashing in. I'm not saying that I don't care about this hunt. I'm saying, hey, I trust the rest of the community to trust me. I'm going to go boots on the ground for you. And I found Follow Me Down. And he said, I just crashed. Here's what I think. And I saw a solve and I said, that's bitching. I'm going to go out because did you consider this? And he said, no, I ain't selling out for it. Now, right now, we did crash, but I love the experience. I'll take 6, 8, 9 months. I partner up with him. I partner up with a few others that have said that shows that you can actually get out of your own head.
Higher level of consciousness. Yes.
Well, there you go.
It's
and
about the head.
That just says that you're the semi-exception to the rule. But in general, what we were talking about is why
like
when
a semicolon,
when people
like
two semicolons.
Situation matters.
But what I'm saying is that in general, when you're handed a solve, that's the reason people don't give a shit. They didn't work it. They didn't put the effort in. You know?
No, but I was handed when I did, and I probably would never do it again. When I was stopped.
Steve said I'm right, so I don't care. I just muted you.
Okay, Steve. I'll lay into Steve in a second. But here's the thing.
Oh, Steve, your ass is grass.
Never try to say to somebody, hey, would you like to email me solves? I was emailed 100 solves, and I didn't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I just said, I'm not taking the time and money to go out for that solve. There was 3 that I really liked, and there just happened to be from happenstance. There was one that I went, I'm picking this one and I'm going to go with the leap of faith. That doesn't make me a sellout. That makes me a treasure hunter that decides not to go with my own head. And I want Forrest Fenn treasure, not my own solve.
Who called you a sellout? Whose words were those?
That was a boom, she said. She said boom. Right on.
I can't believe Forrest Fenn would tell you that.
Boom.
Forrest called you a sellout?
Oh my God. No way. David, own your words, dude. You were very close to saying exactly that.
I did not. Oh, believe me, I'm the guy that'll own my words.
Own it.
$49.95.
I blame
That's right. No ups, no extras for only $49.95.
Not all you get, folks.
That's right.
I don't need nothing for 49
I'll
cents.
send you a damn near empty Killian's Irish Red bottle.
I don't need that. The chat room's been looking out for me. Oh, someone said Thor. Hold on.
What did you guys make of that one good clue post from Forrest recently?
You know, that's tough.
Came from Jason, yeah.
That's tough because you think about it. You know, when most people start, if they weren't told that there were 9 clues, how many clues do you think most people would come up with in the poem? I think that I personally had come up with like 13. And then I saw, wait a minute, there's 9. And then I'm like, how does this thing work? Then I got lucky enough to download OpenOffice, and their Word document program in there is different a little bit than Microsoft Office. And when I put it in OpenOffice, it literally broke it down by punctuation into 9 sentences. It was amazing. And I was like, holy crap. Then when Sean said, hey, you know, I'm working on this thing and it's 9 sentences, 9 clues. I'm like, holy crap. That's what this thing said. So go download OpenOffice. It's free. It works great.
I thought,
well, tell me about that, Chris. What is the one?
What's the only reference we have? Don't you think it's weird that he said the one good clue? What's the only reference we have to good? It happens once in the poem. Yeah.
Listen good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So hear me
all and listen good. That's the only reference.
And I've talked a lot about that. The fact that there is a difference between, you know, hear and listen. There's 2 different things. You know, hearing is a very passive thing. It's something that we do without consciously thinking about it. We hear noises. I hear my wife talking to me all the time. Now, do I listen good to her? If she's watching this right now, and I can tell you she probably is, she'll be in the chat room and says, no, my husband does not listen to me. He hears what I'm saying, but he does not listen to me.
On the softer side, Thursday night.
On the softer side, Shelly will be reaming my ass on the fact that I do not listen good to my wife.
I heard Toby's really good at that too.
So, but there is a difference between hearing and listening good. We hear the words or we read the words because he's not reading the poem to us. I mean, we're reading it. So we're hearing and we're reading the words, but are we paying close attention to what he's telling us?
Sure. So that line says, hear me all and listen good. What's the only thing you can't hear in that sentence? And that's a massive clue.
Hear me all and listen good. So hear me all and listen good.
I'm stumped.
Getting a beer.
So hear me all and listen
to the pissa again.
Oh, the T.
So hear me all and listen good.
The T is silent, isn't it?
Your effort will be worth the cold. If you are brave and in the wood, I give you title to the gold.
It's the silent T, right?
Sure.
Am I right? Did I guess right?
I think he's mocking you.
Yeah.
I think he's mocking you.
No, somebody said it in the chat room too.
Well, no. All right, dude.
I'm not subscribing to that. I don't know where you're going there with it, Chris, but
I'll tell you in a week.
Great. We'll have you on the next week. Oh, look at that. That's total vertical promotion. I love it.
Bum, 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 bum. I like that.
No, I want to hear it. I want to hear it. Yeah. I mean,
hey, listen. I would love for him, once he's done, find the chest or not, I would love to see a video sort of walkthrough of what he's doing, where he's been, what everything means. That'd be amazing. That would be just an awesome post up on YouTube.
Yeah. You got to do a video, Chris.
I'm going to do it. The only thing is I'm going from the chest back to warm water's halt. So I'm doing it in reverse.
Once you have the chest,
so I'll have to hide my excitement. Because it's like when you make a road through the hills, you go the path of least resistance.
Okay.
Why go? Yeah, I know where the chest is. I have a specific spot, so there's no point going to WWH and walking my way back. So go to the spot, see if the chest's there. If it's not,
so let me ask you this, Chris: from where you park the RV or the car, whatever you'll be in at that time, what's the distance that you'll have to walk to the chest?
Oh, this is big.
Not sure how far you can get there. I'm actually going by boat. We're actually going to take a little paddle boat, but you can go by road as well. But if you were parking your car, you're looking at a 500-foot distance to where the chest would be.
Very good, man. You're okay. Believable.
But that's when you park.
Yeah. Well,
specific spot to go to.
So Chris, do you think Fenn wanted a person to basically swim across there, or be prepared with a paddle boat or a floating chair or something?
No, I think if he hit the chest where I think it is, he went in his car and he just walked it.
Well, of course, yeah.
So how many, Ben Downing was asking, how many clues can you get armchair? Like, do you think you have all 9, or do you think you're going to have 1 or 2 and be a little flexible at the end, or where do you think you're at with that?
Look quickly down your quest to cease. I've got 3 clues I've got to find on the ground within maybe 200-foot area. Yeah. And I'm thinking they should be reasonably easy because I'm looking for a specific thing. And if I can't find them on the ground, I'm in the wrong spot.
I'm kind of amazed at how many people think that the whole poem from Warm Water's Halt to Quest to Cease is 1,000 yards or even a mile. I mean, I don't think it's even within a square mile. I mean, especially if you consider that from chest to parking spot is less than 3 miles. And sure, of course, less than could mean 1,000 feet, 1,000 inches, could be very close, but I don't. How far is it, Chris, from start to finish in your solve? Do you mind saying that?
As the crow flies, I'm about 30 miles.
30?
30 miles.
Yeah. Well, mine's 43. I think that's reasonable.
Wow, man.
But too far to walk, I think is a little bit sort of a hint at the distances, but who knows? It's just an opinion.
I think he's taking us on a journey.
Mm-hmm. Hey, David. David, you hear me? David, you wanna?
Dude, I like where he's going. Don't cut him off. Come on, hit me with that one, Chris.
Sorry, Sean, but I think the Madison River is the vehicle that we use the journey that we use to take the journey. That's what I think.
How about symbolism? Do you think there's any symbolism there with the Madison River and his stomping grounds?
It's not massive with me to call because I think it's Fenn's with the symbolism and the Indian thing, and this is Fenn's journey. All of that is part of his personality. But this is his thing.
Well, even the journey could be symbolic. I mean, we got the little stick man that's walking, And, we've got all his stories from start to finish. Of course, there could be symbolism and there might just be symbolism. I'm just curious what you think or what you found.
For me, I found what I think is the key. And if you have the key, half the poem doesn't even mean anything. It's all about the key. Stop where the key is and move to the next line. But it's probably all bullshit. So,
have you said the key tonight so far? Have you said it yet?
Yes.
Yeah, he did.
He said the word it. It. IT is the key word.
It's the word that's key for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So David, should we talk about what you and I chatted about offline? About the blaze and the first two clues and walking past the treasure?
Sure, go ahead. It was in it. It's a video that's out there.
I give you permission.
Hey, fuck you, floating hat man.
Wait, where was I in this discussion? I thought you guys have all talked.
You are not privy to the David DeCall or David Kramer, John Dodson discussion.
I'm a part of the team, but okay, the boys want to talk. I get it.
So
what do you got?
So what David and I were talking about this week was, if you go to the Moby Dickens video from 2013, which was the whole Too Far to Walk, release, he says in there about around the 34-minute and 40-second mark, he says, if someone was to read the poem over and over and figure out the first few clues, they could find the treasure. Now, if we talk about the first few clues, there should be no doubt in everybody's mind that the first clue is begin at where warm waters halt. Now, me being a 9 sentences, 9 clues kind of guy, then that whole first clue is begin at where warm waters halt and take it in the canyon down, not far, but too far to walk. The second clue then being put in below the home of Brown. The third clue then being the whole entire stanza, from there, it's no place for the meek. The end is ever drawing nigh. There'll be no paddle up your creek, just heavy loads and water high. Now, if you're a person that doesn't believe the 9 sentences are the 9 clues, but you believe that the first clue is begin at where warm waters halt, then your first clue is begin at warm waters halt. Your second clue may be take it in the canyon down. Your third clue may be not far, but too far to walk. So my question is, if Forrest Fenn has said, one who reads a poem over and over and has been able to decipher the first few clues, none of those first few clues, if you believe are the 9 sentences or 9 clues, or each line is a poem, ever mentions the blaze.
Yep.
So my question is, must we find the blaze in order to find the treasure? Because according to Forrest, if we're able to figure out the first few clues, we could find the treasure. So the question then becomes, must we actually find the blaze? Must we have understood what the blaze is in order to find the treasure? Now, it's just
that's a pretty good thought process.
David and I do not know the answer to this. We don't know the answer to this. We're just throwing it out there. It's a question. We don't know. We're just throwing it out there. Forrest Fenn has said this. We don't know.
Can I throw out
something a little bit different? So isn't that kind of what Toby said when he said he's figured out WWWH, he's throwing the rest out, and he's just going to kind of wing it this year, and he caught fire for that. Is that a little bit what you're saying? Like once you hit blaze, you're good to go, or am I missing that?
Well, again, if you know the where, again, I'm a guy who believes that where is more important than what when it comes to warm waters halt. And there's only been, out of the 17 videos that have come out of this whole what's more important, what versus where, only like 3 of us agree that where is probably more important. Sean Martinez, myself, and I'm sorry, the other person is escaping me, but there's one other person out of those videos that believe where is more important than trying to figure out what.
I think it was Illinois Ghost.
Yeah, I think you're right. Thank you, 90. Thank you, Chris. You may be right in that. But so if we can figure out the correct starting point, again, it's kind of like the blaze. And I wrote a note here. It's a lot like the blaze. We can try and figure out what the blaze is. We can all think that the blaze is a mark on a tree, a mark on a rock, or a geological feature. We can think about that all day, but we don't know. If we don't know where exactly the blaze is, it really doesn't matter. Forrest Fenn has said in that whole question about, how far from the treasure chest is the blaze? And Forrest Fenn has said, if you don't know where the blaze is, it doesn't matter. But if you can find the blaze, the answer to your question will be obvious. So again, the where is kind of overall important. But if we can find the correct starting point, the correct where warm waters halt, then maybe it's possible that the blaze really doesn't matter, that we can still find it. Again, Forrest Fenn has said it may not be easy, it may still be difficult, but you can find it. So do we really have to know exactly what the blaze is if we can still find the right spot? If we can still figure out the first few clues? It's just something to talk about. I don't know. David and I are kicking this whole concept around. And David, what did you say about the first 2 clues? You said something that was very important that totally ties in, and I'm going to put a real big plug out here. Those of you that have not gone over to Harry's site and read what Mike Davis said about the little girl from India, you need to go over there to Harry's site and read what David wrote. David does not say much about clues. Usually it's about drama and we go on about that. Okay, we'll say that. But very seldom does Mike Davis talk about very serious stuff in the chase. And you need to pay attention when Mike Davis says something. Go over to Harry's, read what Mike said. Said something very important about the little girl from India. But David, I want to take anything away from you, but I want you to talk about what you mentioned about the first 2 clues, because I think it's very important. Listen close to what David's going to say right here, guys. No, I'm not putting you on the spot, but go ahead.
What did we say?
I'm putting you on the spot.
It's all right. No, later on in that same video, they asked Forrest Fenn how many clues searchers had cracked, and Forrest Fenn said 2. They had cracked 2. And he said that searchers had found the first 2 clues and walked right on past the treasure chest. Now, everybody quotes that incorrectly. They say they found the first few clues and walked past the rest of the clues, or walked past the rest. But the real answer from Forrest Fenn was they found the first 2 clues and walked past the treasure chest. Okay, that's brutally important because it allows you to know that once you get past those first 2 clues, depends on, your thinking, nine clues, 9 sentences, whatever your 9 clues might be, the first couple. But anyway, so they got the first 2 and they walked past the chest. So that really speaks a lot about the area in which that treasure is in. A lot of people debate how far apart the clues are. Well, let me tell you something. If you get 2 clues and you walk past the treasure, that shit's in a real tight area, boys and girls. All right?
Yeah. I've thought about that many times.
And what David is saying is they didn't, and I'm not trying to take away from your fire, David, but you made a great point, is that you said he didn't say they walked past the other 7 clues. He said they walked past the treasure.
Well, he has different quotes. He might have said the other 7 clues in one of the quotes.
Go back to the video. Send the man the link, Sean. Send the man the link.
Yep.
I've
It's
also
very
got the
key.
video
What
of,
David has said is very important. Go ahead,
I got a
Chris.
video
Sorry.
of Finn saying that he buried it. So,
Hey, bro, what the hell are you doing? Get off your phone and get back on this thing.
I didn't know about this discussion. You guys had it beforehand, so you've prepped, but I will say that I absolutely agree. When he says that you have solved 2 clues, and that's the quote, and then walk right past it, that's where my last solve was like 150 miles, and now it's not, because I believe it's all in a tight location. But I'm kind of going on, so I'm getting a few emails here and there and trying to look up some quotes. And we don't need the quotes exactly, but I will say you're exactly right. Like, I believe now when I hear, and no offense to decal, 43 miles, I don't think it's anywhere near that now. And my last solve was hundreds of miles. Nez Perce Trail, it all fit I had fits into TTOTC, all of that. I don't believe that anymore because of that exact quote. Which I got
it right here. Some folks correctly mentioned the first 2 clues to me in an email, and then they went right past the other 7.
Go back to the video.
So close.
Don't go to Terry Scant. Go to the video.
Yeah, that's not the one.
Really?
That's one, but that's not the one.
That's not the one.
Wait,
go back to the video.
Can I have a break? Can I have a break for child identification? Can everybody say hi to Bradley? My daughter Bradley is watching. Hi, Bradley.
Hey.
Hi, Bradley.
Hi, Bradley.
Yay!
We love you. Night time. Love you.
Oh,
Daddy
night.
loves
Would
you
she be the one
guys.
jumping
Loves
up
you.
and down and having fun by this point?
She is the one that
Hey, Bradley,
jumps up
here's
and
a
down
floating
all the
hat.
time. Yeah. Hi, Bradley. I love you. Mwah.
Yay.
So I think it's a great discussion. I think that I think what David brought up is a very good point. You know, the fact that one, if one could figure out the first few clues and find the treasure, then again, does the blaze really matter? Again, I still think the blaze matters, but there's still a possibility to find it without.
It would have mattered to that
Yeah,
200
yeah.
footer. I agree with you. If you know your location so solidly, one of the questions I've asked recently is, he says that we have to go with confidence. Or here's the problem: we're all confident. We're all thinking, oh, this is it. How do we get some confirmation, actual confirmation, not I love my solve because it's so great and it fits this ambiguous poem. But that quote is one that is, I think, very telling. That I had a huge debate with someone that said, how can you have a solve that has hundreds of miles when he makes that quote that you're talking about? And I would need a little bit of time to research. So just give me a little bit of heads up, and I will bring it next time.
If Forrest Fenn has said many people have been within 500 feet, again, it revolves around that. You know, many people have solved the first two clues, but went right on past the treasure. You know,
but what does that really tell us about?
The little girl from India can figure out the first two clues, but cannot get any closer than the first two clues, then she's right along with the 500 footers that had no certainty that they were in the right spot. They arrived there as an aberration. You know, they did not have any certainty. They did not know for certain that they were there. Again, like he says in Too Far to Walk, I warned that the path would not be direct for those who had no certainty in the location beforehand, but sure for the one who did. What is more important, what or where warm waters halt? There are many places where warm waters halt in the Rocky Mountains, and most of them are north of Santa Fe. Again, places where they're synonymous with each other. Where did Chris go? There he is. He's back. Did you get a quickie, Chris?
Did I get a quickie?
That would be unfortunately quick.
I'm quick, but I ain't that quick.
That's like first time out of the box, 16 years old, bang.
Take that.
I'm done. I'm just getting started.
That would not be a first on the flip side, folks.
It won't be the last.
Well, guys, we're getting close to an hour and a half here. I probably want to wrap this up.
Oh, really? Holy cow.
No, we're not close to an hour and a half.
Yeah, we are. We're
like
9:30.
2 hours and 15 minutes tonight. For God's sake.
Find me one of those.
Howdy,
hats,
ma'am. Welcome to the bar.
So, Chris, we're gonna segue back over to Chris here. Chris, where are you and Jules headed from here?
We're going to the Hood River tomorrow night at Portland, and then we're handing this RV over in Seattle, and we're trying to find some other form of transportation. So, and then we're on to heading towards Yellowstone from Seattle.
Oh, man, you're going to love Yellowstone. Oh, my God. How long are you in or around Yellowstone?
We're not sure. We don't pre-book stuff. We just try to do it a couple of days in advance.
Oh, you're screwed.
No, is it? It's
Chris,
shoulder.
What?
Chris, I've got a task for you. For you. So when you and Jules, wherever you stop, I want you to find a local brewery, wherever you guys go along your trip, and I want you to grab coasters. You know what I'm talking about, that you put your beers on.
Yep,
grab some coasters. I want you and Jules to sign them, put your names on there, thrill of the chase, where you're at, and I want you to hang on to those. I want you to keep those as mementos. And when you do your pictures, or if you do upload videos or whatever, I want you to show us all those coasters and keep those. I think that would be really cool, and I'm going to task you with that, brother. So
I'm getting drunk.
That's awesome.
Okay.
And right on there to the flip side or something, and you got to send them to me.
Oh, hell yeah.
So I'm going to task everybody in the chat room. Screw it. We're going to task everybody in the chat room. Wherever you're at, I want you guys to send me, and I'll figure out a post office box or something. Send me posters from wherever you're at. I want you to put your name, sign them to the flip side or whatever. And we're going to start putting them on some wall somewhere. I don't know.
I'm sending you wood, bitch.
Hey, braving in the wood. Send them to me.
I'm talking to Sean.
Yes, sir.
Christy, aren't you going to go on a rant about something? Come on.
I thought I did
Get
that.
excited. Come on.
I'm excited. I just totally.
She's into her new thing. She's paying attention to the chat. She's doing her thing. She's in her new location.
I love
got it going on.
I love the peeps, and there was a quote thrown out that you guys had talked about that I totally supported. I'm totally in it, and I'm totally listening to the chat room. I'm multitasking. I'm the one.
And to pull your ass off your cell phone like my 16-year-old son to get you back in the game. I don't want to hear this crap.
Don't judge me. Don't judge
me.
Okay. Judged.
Don't judge me.
Okay, Christy. Now we want to give you a chance. We want you to promote your new channel. You're doing a channel. You're going to do a Monday chat. You're going to do something on your show. So I want you to talk about what you're doing. Let's hear it. Let's hear it from you.
Okay.
What do you got going on?
I want to do what I think will be called Monday Musings. I don't know what it will be exactly yet, but it'll be an hour. There's an open night. I will want to invite other people on. So if you're interested in coming on, that is my goal. Mike Cowlings is helping me, and he's going to co-host on Monday with me. And it's just going to be kind of like this. I will say it's going to just be a fun topic. Forrest may or may not give words, probably not. I am going to put a little caveat to I have it under good authority. I've talked to some of the chasers out there, and if they give me some input, some of them don't want to be on all the chat rooms and stuff or on panels, and it's just going to be fun. And I see myself, I will make it very clear, I see myself as Christy from the flip side that has a Monday night fun exactly like this, but it's going to take a little bit of a different tangent because I think women searchers do deal with, I go boots on the ground alone. That is very different than Sean Dotson going boots on the ground alone. Sasha going boots on the ground alone is there's some different little things happening. And so I wanted to try it out and see, and I don't think it'll get huge. I just think it'll be interesting and fun. There are, I'll say a couple of things in work that I'm not ready to announce, but when you hear an announcement, it's not going to be that the treasure chest is found. There's a couple of projects that are in work that if they come through and I'm in work, and Mike Cowlings, if you're in here saying anything, he's a little talker.
He's a little talker, yeah.
I gotta watch it. So no more talking, Mike.
No.
Yeah, no
more
moving,
Lock it up, Mike. Lock it up, Mike.
I don't care.
You want to hear it from you.
And no inviting him to the encore. He will talk. No more talking.
I'm totally inviting him to the encore.
Once they're
Just because you don't want him there.
No, I do, but I don't want him talking. Now the big thing is this off season. My goal is to make this off season awesome with content that's going to be at a whole different level. This isn't
whole different level
anymore. This is going to be us taking the ownership of this. Let's not solve it like Fenn wants us to, and we go out randomly to www. Let's get some information. And again, I have to wait just a little bit, and I don't mean to tease. If it comes through, it's going to be an epic.
You don't want Mike talking very much, right?
No, leave my. Oh, he's back here. Hey, what are we talking about exactly, Mike? Thank you. Just. Okay. Oh, and no.
Oh shit! Now we got the evidence we need.
Don't check your email, Mike, for the next few minutes. No, thank you. But that's kind of the. Oh. Okay, David.
I ain't naming names. I ain't naming names.
All I know, the one thing that I've gotten some feedback is you're going against Monday Night Football. Yeah, if you're a treasure hunter, listen to it.
Wait a minute. Wait, but what time are you coming on? 7?
7.
Bring it.
You'll be done by Monday Night Football. Man, get in there, watch the musings, get you some football. Bam, you're in.
Monday Night Lights.
Yeah.
Hey, make sure you stand for the national anthem just prior to your show.
Yeah, for God's sakes, if you're kneeling, fuck you. You're just at the right height.
I'm 100% American. Look at the stars. Look at the stripes. About that.
All right, guys. We are going to wrap this thing up, folks. So that's it. We're going to wrap this up, guys.
So that's
we've
dead.
had a fun night tonight. I want to give props out to Chris Bettles and Jules out there that are just, come out here to United States all the way. 4 years they've been planning for this trip to come out here. That's amazing. We're looking forward, Chris. We would love for you to start a thread over on Thor. Put out some more videos on your YouTube channel about what you're doing. It doesn't have to be chase related. Just show us what you're doing, man. We love living vicariously through you and having a good time. Show us some of the breweries you're going to. Grab some of those coasters, write up on them, send them to me. Man, it's going to be fun, man. We're excited about your adventure. I think it's amazing. And just keep us updated, man. We want to follow you. We want to have a good time with you and live vicariously through you, brother.
Yeah, are you still doing motorcycle tours in Australia too, or what?
I don't do them in Australia. Only do them in Sri Lanka.
Sri Lanka, okay.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
That's right. You show up in Sri Lanka, it's free, right?
Yeah, of course.
Sri Lanka, man.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, man. Kind of cool.
If anyone ever goes to Sri Lanka and they want to get a driver, a car, a motorbike, a hotel, or whatever, if you need stuff done in Sri Lanka, or you just want some advice, email me.
Shazam! We got the connection.
Bam!
There you go.
Got it.
See, guys.
It's right
We
there.
have a great network of people in this thing, man. We have a great network of people. If you're going to Sri Lanka, hook up with 90 Chris Bettles. That's amazing. Guys, that's what we do. We have a great network. Look what we did for Jay Diggins. Look what kind of group we have here. It's been an amazing change of the course of the chase and the positivity and everything else that's happened here in the last month or two. It's been amazing and it's great. We like to keep that flow rolling, guys. So, guys, we would not have this channel. We would not be here if it wasn't for you guys in the chat room and those of you posting comments in here. If you like the show, guys, give it a like. K-Pro's got a show coming up here on Mondays. We're excited about that. We'll be talking about that. The round table, we're having fun with that. There's no deadline. If you want to put a video out, put it out, guys. We're just having a great time. We're just here to have fun. That's what it's all about. There's only one of us that's going to find this thing. The rest of us, we're just going to have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. So why not? So we appreciate you guys all coming out, joining us tonight, spending an hour and a half plus with us. It's been great. And we will catch you all on the flip side. Good night, guys. Everybody give us a wave to the kids at home, everybody else out there. Good night, guys. Been fun.
All right, kids. God bless.